2026 is right around the corner. And if getting a new job is one of your goals, this is the video for you. I'm going to be giving you tried and true tools and resources that have actually helped me and so many others actually land jobs. So whether you are job hunting now, or you're preparing for a career change, or just really tired of applying with getting no response, I'm about to show you what's really working in 2026 that will actually get you hired. Now, let me just say this. I hope that you have your pen and paper ready, because I'm going to be giving you tons of tools, resources, and strategies that's going to help you to navigate your dream job in 2026. When I started my job search, I was overwhelmed. There were so many job boards, tools, and opinions that I really just didn't know where to start. But once I created a schedule and used the right tools and built a system, everything changed. The callbacks started coming in, and I eventually landed a job that I had been praying for. So before we get into the tools, bestie, you need a schedule. Because let's be honest, looking for a job is a full-time job. Can I get an amen? And consistency will beat chaos every time. So here's an example of how to structure your week. If you are a morning person, I would recommend that you look for jobs in the morning. If you're a night person, look for jobs at night, because you are going to need a lot of energy to actually go through all of the available jobs, read the descriptions, look at the benefits, look at the pay, and see if it's something that actually aligns with what you're looking for. So pick a time out of your day, and I would say every day, especially if you do not have a job at all, have a certain amount of time, whether it's 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon, or even if it's literally 8 hours a day that you're looking for jobs, and you have that time blocked off on your calendar. So that is all you are doing during that block of time. But it is important to know when you have the most energy, because that is the time that you actually need in order to apply for jobs, because there's a lot of things that you need to do once you do apply, and we'll get into that. So now let's get into my top 3 job boards. LinkedIn, the power player. LinkedIn is number one, hands down. This is actually where recruiters live and where messages can actually turn into interviews. I've actually gotten a couple of interviews by using LinkedIn and messaging the recruiters and letting them know that I was interested in the positions that they had available. And those conversations turned into interviews. So here's a few tips on how to actually be successful on LinkedIn. Keep your headline and profile current and including keywords that actually match the job that you're looking to get. The next tip, turn on open to work. This actually lets recruiters know that you are available and you're out on the market. That little green banner works wonders. The next tip is to follow companies that you're actually interested in and engage with their content. And lastly, message recruiters. It's not weird, it's strategy. I'm telling you, I've messaged tons of recruiters, and the ones that actually reached back out to me, they actually turned into interviews and or just a way to connect with that recruiter so that if I need them in the future, they will be there, and it was just a way to connect. So LinkedIn isn't just a job board, it is your professional stage. Every post and comment builds your personal brand. Next on the list, and actually pretty competitive to me with LinkedIn, is Glassdoor. This is the insider secret. I love this tool. Glassdoor is one of my favorite tools because it helps you to go beyond just searching for jobs. You can actually get real insight to what it's actually like working for the company, because you're hearing from the actual people who've actually worked there. And here's what makes Glassdoor golden. You can read reviews from people who actually work there or used to work there, and they will share their personal experience with the company. They talk about leadership, growth, they talk about pay, and they also talk about the culture of the company. That's golden. You can also see salary ranges, which helps you to negotiate confidently. And the best part is the interview tab. I don't know how many people actually know about this tab, but when you go to the actual company, they have a couple of different tabs. So they have where you can read about the company. They have people who give reviews. They have a tab about the benefits and the pay. And then there's a little tab called interview tab. That section is golden. You can see how that company conducts interviews, some of the questions that they may ask, and just their overall recruiting process. So sometimes you'll read from a company, oh, it took them 6 months to call me back. Or they may say it took me 3 months to get a call back, or they called me back immediately. But you'll be able to see the range in which they work with. So then that way you can kind of anticipate what your experience is going to be like. And if, for example, which I personally saw, where they were like, it took them 6 months to call me back, I know that it's a possibility that that very same thing can happen to me. So I won't stress and see it as a loss, especially if I haven't gotten that email that said,
we've chosen someone else for the position. Thank you so much for your time. Please keep us on your list and make sure that you apply again. Yada, yada, yada.
If you have an interview coming up, my suggestion is that you hit up Glassdoor and look at that interview section. You will love it. And number 3 is ZipRecruiter. This is actually a hidden gem. I know a couple of people who've actually gotten jobs off of ZipRecruiter, and it's a new tool that I actually just learned about. So you would build a profile, you would include your skills, your location, and your job preferences. Use the one-click apply feature for jobs that you are qualified for. It saves you time and keeps you consistent. Sometimes the best offers come from companies that you've never actually heard of. And ZipRecruiter is great for surfacing those type of jobs. So now I'm going to give you 8 more job boards that are definitely worth exploring, because I've heard great things about these job boards, and I actually know people who consistently use these job boards and they actually get hired. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready. Let's go. Indeed, this one is a classic. It still works, but make sure that you watch out for scammers. I would even say on LinkedIn also, make sure you watch out for scammers, because once they get your information, they just may scam you. Make sure it's a real job, and I'll talk about how to make sure it's a real job as well. But Indeed is always a classic. They still have relevant jobs on there, and I do know people who get hired still from Indeed. The next job board, welcome to the jungle. Now this job board is really geared and targeted towards creatives and culture positions. These are people who like work in marketing, people who work in human resources, and even social media, or just really anything that's people oriented. And one of the things that I really like about Welcome to the Jungle, when I did apply for jobs on there, I got a response literally right away. So the companies that they put on that actual job board, they are really great at responding quickly. The next one, Google Jobs, the aggregator. Google Jobs pulls listings from everywhere. Just type in your job title and your location, or add remote, and you'll see everything all in one place. Company career pages. This is actually the back door, and what I would suggest is no matter what job board you use, that you always go to the actual company, go to their job board to make sure that the position that you are looking at on that job board is actually available on the company website, and you apply through the company website. Now, there have been people that I know who actually have applied through these job boards and they've received calls. However, I'm a little old school. So every single position that I have applied for or that I did apply for, I actually did it through the company website. I think it's just best. That is a way that you can make sure that these aren't scam positions. Just a quick little story. There was actually one position that I found on a job board and it looked like a really cool position. I couldn't even find the company's website because my process was to find the job on the job board, go to the company, go to the careers, look at the position and apply through there. I couldn't even find this company's website at all. So I was like, you know what? That was probably a scam. So I did not ultimately, of course, apply for that job. And I will tell you, the company website itself is actually the hidden door. I mean, some companies do solely work off of these job boards, I think, but they're going to take applications from their website first. Flex jobs. This is actually targeted towards people who are looking to work remote or hybrid roles. Now, this is a paid site, but everything is actually verified, which is good. And just like we talked about, if you want to avoid scams, this job site is actually worth it. Handshake. This is actually geared towards students and grads. This connects you directly with like internships and entry-level roles. This is actually perfect if you are early in your career or switching fields. So the next job board is actually a live job board and it is a job fair. You guys know that I have had the opportunity to attend a couple or a few job fairs. And at these job fairs, you have the opportunity to actually meet the recruiters or meet the HR, whoever's in HR accepting applications, and you can talk to them live and advocate for yourself. Provide them with your resume, and a lot of the times they will actually have interviews right on the spot and you can get hired. That job fair that I went to in Vegas, the marketing one, they were doing so many interviews and I know tons of people who actually got hired on the spot. So do not forget about old school job fairs. They do work. It is a way to network. It's a way to actually find a job. And it is just a way to really get yourself out there and talk to people who actually work at the companies that you are looking to get hired onto. So networking opportunities. These are actually hidden opportunities that you will have just by knowing someone who has the ability to give you a yes. Knowing someone who knows someone who even knows someone who can get you in for an interview to be able to sell yourself. Networking is not old. It is still new. You can also join different Facebook groups or different groups where even if you're looking to move into a certain field, you can connect. I actually found a position. They hadn't reached out to me, but I found a position by joining this group on Facebook, and they were like constantly posting jobs in this group. So networking and actually joining these groups, golden. And here's a bonus job board. I actually know a few people who got hired by jobs from using a headhunter. And a headhunter is basically like a recruiter who goes out and they look for jobs for you and they submit the resume and they are your advocate in between you and the company. So they advocate for you. They talk about how qualified you are for the position. They get you the interviews and you're working through them, even up to the job acceptance and even negotiating your salary. So I know people who are making more than 6 figures who have actually used headhunters. So do not forget. And I actually didn't know what a headhunter was when I first found out. I was like, what is that? So you can find these headhunters. You can find them through other people that you may know. You can also find these headhunters on LinkedIn, but just please, please, please make sure you're doing your research and you're not getting scammed. You shouldn't have to pay for a recruiter or a headhunter either, because they're actually paid from the company for finding talent. So just keep that in mind. So those are job boards that actually work. So once you start applying, you will need a system to stay organized, because keeping track of what you've applied for is half the battle. It's pretty embarrassing if you get a call from someone that you apply for a job maybe like 3 months ago, and you're like, huh? Oh, apply for you? That is embarrassing, and I don't want that to happen to you. So let's get into how to keep track of your jobs. So this right here is what separates the real job seekers from the occasional lookers. Having a job tracker keeps you organized, keeps you on track, focused, and confident. Here's a couple of tools that you can use to track your job search. A regular Excel sheet. You can go in and create your own Excel sheet for your job tracker. You're going to create columns for the actual company that you've applied for, the date that you applied for it, the salary that they're offering, the contact person, the status of the actual application, and then also just a note section on anything that you want to write down notes about the position. It's free, it's easy, and it's a wonderful tracker that you can make pretty. You can put whatever colors you want. It's really effective, and that is how I actually kept track of all of the jobs that I applied for. Next is Teal HQ. This is an all-in-one job tracker for applications. The next is Notion. This is great for visual learners who actually like dashboards. So the last tool for your job tracker is Airtable. And this tool is for tech-savvy users. This tool actually lets you attach your resumes, your notes, and follow-up reminders. So now you've got your system, you have your job boards, you have a way to stay organized. Now let's talk about your resume. The job boards get you in the door, but your resume actually gets you noticed. These are some of my favorite resume and AI tools that will help you stand out. Teal HQ. This helps you to tailor each resume to the job description that you're applying for. Job Scan. This checks if your resume actually matches the job post. And I would shoot for a score of about 70% or higher. The famous Chat GPT, Uncle Chat. This helps you to write bullet pointed resumes, helps you with star questions that you may be asked, and also writing cover letters. The next tool, Rezi. This is an AI resume builder that helps you to get through the ATS system. An ATS system stands for Applicant Tracking System. Canva. These are clean, modern resumes that pass the ATS system as well. Google Docs. This is simple, it's free, and it gives you a professional layout. And I need everybody to use Grammarly. This checks to make sure that the words that you have put on your resume are actually spelled correctly. Because I can tell you, if your resume gets into the hands of a recruiter and they notice that you have a lot of grammatical errors, you just may not get a call back. And then lastly, Notion. It keeps notes on actually which resume version you have used. And here's a tip. Name your file clearly. Your first name, your last name, and the company name. That way you're able to keep your resumes consistent and clear. And if you receive a call back from a job, you know exactly which resume to pull. So now let's talk about what happens when those interviews start pouring in, because preparation is what turns interviews into offers. Interviews can be stressful, let me tell you. Let me be the first to tell you. But preparation builds confidence. Here are some tools and strategies that helped me and many others to fly through interviews with flying colors. My number one tool is ChatGPT. You can generate practice questions and example answers. But let me tell you what I really love about ChatGPT. If you need to mock interview, sometimes you'll use a friend, a coworker, you'll use a family member. You'll just have somebody to be able to help feed you those questions. But what I love about ChatGPT is that you can actually use the voice mode, and you will have a personalized practice interview that you can do with chat. Chat will ask you the question, you will verbalize your answer back to chat, and then chat will then give you feedback on your answer. Hands down, if you have never tried this, please try it. I loved this feature in ChatGPT. So the next tool is Google Interview Warmup. This is a free AI tool to help practice and get feedback on your speaking. It's kind of the same thing as ChatGPT. I would also suggest having a career coach. They give you personalized feedback, mock interviewing, and mindset prep. They're golden. Also, YouTube practice videos. YouTube University has everything that we need. So you can do your research by going on to watch different videos like this one or other ones to help you with how to show up confidently, giving you tips and tricks on how you can actually be successful in your interview. So I use YouTube. I looked at various different videos that helped me with different type of questions and how to answer them. It's free. And I would suggest that you take a look at some videos to help you prep for your interview. And the last one is faith and mindset prep. I totally get it. Interviewing is stressful. I was stressed on every single interview that I had because I wanted to do a good job. I wanted to get that yes. But one thing that will help is to pray, affirm yourself, and visualize success before every single interview. Give it your all. You are the best person for the job. So show up as that. So bestie, if you stay consistent, use these tools, resources, and suggestions, your interviews are going to come through and your yes is coming. 2026 can be a year you walk into that new season, that dream job, and a new sense of peace. It's not about applying more. It's about applying smarter. Stay organized, stay prayerful, and stay locked in. So drop a suitcase in the comments if you are currently job hunting. And I want you to share with me, what tools are you going to be trying first? Listen, make sure that you are subscribed and share this video with someone who may really benefit from all of the tools and resources that were provided in this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and hype me up. So there is this button in YouTube that after you give the video a thumbs up, you can actually hype up the video. So please do me a huge favor and hype this video up. But thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Go be great, besties. Peace out.
You special and she reckless. Remember, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is